So we actually from last year, the Easter attack was a big eye opener for us. Then
Yeah.
what we did was, we saw the volatility in the market, and a business like us has, let's say, vulnerability in the market condition, right? So after Easter, uh, what we also did was we were before Easter we were fully focused on the tourism. Then after
Okay.
Easter, we started to shift towards accommodation, right? So yeah, we started focusing on the local markets and stuff like that. So even from that time, we kept our team on a very dynamic landscape, which means if we want to change the team for different things, we were able to always do that. So when we hire new people, we were always focus on for pivots, if we need to do any pivots and if we need to do any role changes, they should be able to take it up and do it. So we were so focused on how our resources were planned well. So in a situation when the volatility is high, then we were able to still survive. So that was the plan. Even after we were following from the East after Easter time, right? Then when this came, uh, we were actually in the middle of a race. Then when this came in, we were looking at what is our runaway. Runaway means what is the cash we have. So it was not a very good position at that time. So we saw we need to take some quick actions, and we need to act fast for us if we want to be on the game, or if you want to even to float, or even to survive. We need to be very fast, right? So before the lockdown happened, we saw how the Chinese market affected our tourism, and we were starting to getting us prepared how we need to respond to this, right? So most of the team started looking at it. We were thinking through if a situation happens to Sri Lanka, how we need to respond to that, right? Then before lockdown happens itself, we had a plan with all our staff. What are the things we will do, and what are the trigger points, and we communicated to the staff. Communicated to the staff, these are the trigger points, and if these trigger points come, these are the actions we take, right? So then before the lockdown, about 1 week before itself, we started the work from home structure. Then we started preparing for that. So when the lockdown, we also understood when the lockdown happens, it's going to happen very fast. It's like, morning they will say we are closing, we are doing this, and evening they might put the lockdown, and nobody can move around. So, but we were prepared for it. Then the very next day we started the work from home structure. All 40 of our staff uh, were, uh, were planned very well how to do the work from home. Then we saw after 1 week, we saw things are not that great. If we don't look at something, if we don't do something now, we will not be able to survive this through, right? Then we came up with a plan whether we can do a work from Yoho kind of a thing, maybe work from bed, right? So people can hire, book a property in the morning, at night, and until 5, until 6 they can stay, and we will give a better internet and all that stuff. Then we ran that for about a week. We didn't see anything because no one can move around. So we were not getting bookings and all. So then we thought, okay, this is not going to work. Then we were quickly looking at, we need to do that bigger pivot or the hard pivot, and we need to take that hard call. Otherwise, we will not. There's no chance for us to survive. Then, then that there was a curfew break happened on the following Tuesday. Then we saw how people were running around and getting into all that, trying to buy groceries and stuff like that. Then we had a call the next day. We were when we are discussing our financials. Then we started popping up. We just started bouncing our idea. Let's say, shall we do groceries? And then then we thought, okay, let's do that. Let's do it. And it's a kind of over the call. We decided, let's do this, and we went back and understood how the tech has to be built, how to get our partners done, how to get the suppliers done, how to get our deliveries done. Then within 24 hours, we tweaked the whole app to start getting groceries or selling groceries, and we got a partner confirmed within 24 hours for the supply. But we were not really good at we couldn't really close the delivery partner, but within a couple of more days we closed it. So everything came into play within practically in 24 hours. This is a good time maybe think of all that. And first they need to do is they need to think, they need to see the reality, right? Even after, I don't think the government will just lift the lockdown or lift the curfew and say, okay, now life will become normal. It won't happen like that, right? So this is going to be this will be there for some time, right? And they will start learning step by step. Maybe provincial by provincial, people will start getting to normal life, but we will not see a normal life. We will not see we will actually see a different world after the pandemic, right? So anyway, the companies has to first realize that they're gonna have a different environment. Then they need to come for this survival mode, because they will not have big numbers like what we had before COVID. Most of the industry is gonna dry down, right? And we actually don't know how fast that economy will pick up in Sri Lanka, because there are even last 2-3 years our economic growth is not that great because of that effect also still there. So we don't know how fast this will recover. So the companies, the businesses has to realize that they need to quickly find a way, and they need to look at the cash profitability of the company. It doesn't do any sense right now, because let's say you have checks, and if those checks are not going to realize, then still you don't have, you can't run the company, right? So it's a liquidity is the most important thing, and you need to understand with the money what you have in your hand, and according to your liquidity position, how long you can run the company, and looking at that, take the hard decision right now. If you have not done it right now, you are too late. But if you have not done it, take it today itself. Today, you will get more confused. We were also discussing, let's say, if we had not taken the decision to start grocery to about 15 days or 20 days before, we would have got confused what to do, because some people will tell, now do it. Some people will tell, no, don't do it. This is not right. This is not. You will start getting too much of noise. Because of that, you will not know what to do. I can see there are so many people, they are struggling to understand what to do, because so many people talking so many things, right? On this convent, this is just a start. right? We can't predict how this economy will looks like after pandemic because it's just a start. Nobody knows how this gonna end up. So everyone throws their 2 cents, and everyone throws their uh,
Ideas and
speculations,
opinions.
ideas. Then what will happen is you get confused, and you end up not doing anything. So
Yeah.
it's very important to do it fast and do it early, and at least you will know whether this is gonna work or not. Then you are getting yourself prepared. The example is when the SARS virus came in, right? When the SARS
Yeah.
came in, okay, look at like this: why suddenly Southeast Asia is so good in tech, right? Why the adoption for tech became so good, or so not almost everyone started adopting to the tech in Southeast Asia suddenly, right? Because of the SARS virus. SARS virus taught them a lot of discipline, and they taught them how to social distance themselves, and how to do transactions without much of a connection, right? So because of that, whole part of that world started booming on tech, right? So that is one of the reason. SaaS is one of the reason the whole industry, the whole Southeast Asia started becoming tech heavy, right? So
Yeah.
one of the worst set of countries gonna hit by this is the South Asian countries like Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, right? But few countries are poised to become worstly hit economies, but few countries gonna really flourish. I think India is gonna flourish, Bangladesh is gonna flourish, Nepal is going to flourish. Countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Maldives, they're gonna get into trouble. So Sri Lanka is in a yes and no area. Like let's say we might hit hard, we might not hit hard, but it's all about how the leadership is going to make this country to. But that's why let's say people will be pushed towards how let's say that their entertainment habits will change, eating habits will change, how their work will change, how their travel will change, how what are
Yeah.
the things they're gonna hold, what they the assets holding will change, business structures will change, because we might go into a huge unemployment
Issue.
situation, and most of the people's salaries will cut down. All that's going to happen, right? So
Yeah.
I think the first wave of salary cut is already happening. I
Yeah.
won't be surprised to see another wave of salary cuts for the same companies. Like let's say whoever cut for 30%, they might come back in another 2 months and say another 30% we need to cut, right? There are a few companies will thrive on this kind of environment, right? There are new industries will emerge, like e-gaming will come up, online learning will come up,
Yeah.
e-commerce going to flourish,
Yeah.
work from home structures will flourish, the co-working space is going to flourish. So those are the industries going to really ramp up, right? So people who are losing jobs, or who has a job security, I think they need to start looking at these kind of companies. Maybe for a cheaper, even for a lesser the salary, I think they should get into those ships, so they will be able to grow, right? This is a time
Okay.
you need to really look at which industries you're going to stay in, because there are some industries going to die, right? There are some industries going to go into hard times, but there are some industries will flourish. So look for those industries and start going into it. Even you don't get paid well, go into it, and that will help you eventually to come up in life, or come up, or that will pay you something for you, and eventually you will be able to have a mark on that, or get your career back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fathhi. It's actually, I've learned so much after talking to you, and I'm feeling inspired to make some changes and like pivot. So thank you so much for your help.
Thank you very much.